Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. The Highway 17 bypass around Sudbury remains closed at this hour following a fatal two-vehicle crash. Plus, frustrated parents weigh in about the high school in Parry Sound.
What's the backup plan? No timeline was given, no commitment to a backup plan.
Some feeling like they've been left in the dark and now their kids face remote learning. And a new pilot project at Sioux Area Hospital.
We don't want low acuity patients to have to wait a large amount of time in our wait rooms because they can be very crowded.
We'll show you what they've come up with to ease congestion.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with tragic news in Sudbury's South End. A fatal crash has closed Highway 17. Provincial police closing the bypass this evening in around the dinner hour. The crash happening near the intersection of 17 and Highway 69 north of McFarland Lake. Details are few and far between at this stage. OPP have confirmed it's between a passenger vehicle and a tractor trailer. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you the latest as it develops, but as it stands now at last check, the highway remains closed. Two people have been injured following a bear attack late this afternoon in Sault Ste. Marie. It happened around 5 p.m. at the north end of Peoples Road near 5th Line. The pair were taken to hospital with what's believed to be non-life-threatening injuries. Police were unable to find the bear. The Ministry of Natural Resources is investigating. In the meantime, Sioux police are urging people walking the trails to be vigilant. They've posted some safety tips on their website. Meantime, investigators were back on the scene of an apartment building in the 700 block of Pine Street in Sault Ste. Marie. A search warrant was conducted in connection to a homicide in the building back in June. Police say they will provide more details when they become available. No information has been released as of yet about the victim or a suspect. We're hearing from parents tonight in regards to the decision to have students at Parry Sound High School begin this school year with remote learning.
What's the backup plan? No timeline was given, no commitment to a backup plan. So all of the rush to accommodate backup plans in the last 2 weeks feels very ad hoc. Even if they did give a timeline, I don't think I'd feel very comfortable in believing it. But no, there's no timeline.
One of the frustrating points at the meeting with Graydon Smith this morning was that he kept asking us, like, what do we want to do? He kept putting those questions to us when we stated at the very beginning, we are not here to table solutions. This is not our job. This is your job. This is your job and the minister's job.
Late yesterday, the Near North District School Board making the announcement. A communication was sent to parents citing every effort would be made to the existing site to receive staff and students as fast as possible to limit the duration of remote learning. The new school has faced delays. 4 trustees recently voted in favor of a motion to get the Minister of Education to investigate the school board. In the meantime, parents have begun a petition demanding the minister take action. Police are reminding the public to slow down in school zones and stop for school buses as classes resume next week. North Bay police say there is no excuse to ignore the flashing lights on school buses, and they'll be taking a zero-tolerance approach around safety. Police are reminding the public that the Highway Traffic Act requires drivers to stop 20 meters behind a stopped school bus when its red signal lights are flashing. Failure to stop comes with a minimum fine of $490 and 6 demerit points for a first offense. New automated license plate reader systems at 16 intersections across Sudbury have been activated today. The plate readers are part of a police initiative to target individuals who pose an elevated risk to safety. The ALPR systems take high-resolution photos of license plates, and those of interest are flagged in the system. According to police, only designated and properly trained officers can flag plates. The system is intended to help with stolen vehicles, missing persons, Amber Alerts, and active criminal investigations. The sentencing for a woman who repeatedly stabbed her neighbor in the greater Sudbury community of Chelmsford last year has been delayed. In court today, the lawyer for 33-year-old Jesse Brave said he wanted a mental health assessment for his client and disputed some parts of the pre-sentence report. Brave was originally charged with attempted murder but pled guilty to aggravated assault. In November 2024, Brave stabbed her neighbor 6 times. The victim was left paralyzed by the attack. Brave will be back in court next week. This Sunday is International Overdose Awareness Day, with several community organizations taking time this week to highlight the crisis and educate people. CTV's Elena Everson has more from Sudbury on a program aimed at supporting women.
55-year-old Sandy Lee is battling leukemia and says she uses street drugs to deal with physical and emotional pain stemming from trauma throughout her life. She deeply appreciates the opportunity to stop by the Women's Harm Reduction drop-in.
Comfortable, because it's this woman, not man, because I can't do group with man. I freeze, and I feel threatened.
The Racial Access Network says the Women's Harm Reduction drop-in every Wednesday morning is designed to help women who are precariously housed, using drugs or have in the past.
To speak to the issues that are important to us in a safe and meaningful way. We're able to provide access to some snacks and some things that many women in community are denied access to, and it's just a space for belonging.
For people to just put down what they're carrying for a little while. It's hard out there.
Bowman says the ratio is that more men use a harm reduction window than women.
It's because women face a lot of stigma who are using drugs. And it can be unsafe for them to access harm reduction materials. And they can be controlled on the outside world. So this is a space where they can come in and take what they need without having to ask.
Get peace of mind and relax, and me time too, right? Away from outside.
The drop-in offers harm reduction supplies, test before you use drug kits, essentials for women, bras, underwear, and a space to share, belong, and build community. Elena Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A new pilot program at Sioux Area Hospital is looking to reduce congestion in its emergency room. The virtual home waiting room is designed for those with minor ailments to avoid spending extra time waiting among people with higher needs. CTV's Parry Nordstrom reports.
Waiting in the queue at an emergency department can take hours, and depending on the severity of your symptoms, that length of time can continually be increased. A new pilot program at the Sioux Area Hospital aims to reduce those times for those on the lower end of acuity.
The emergency room is a very unpredictable environment, and our priority is, of course, always the highest acuity patients. And we don't want low acuity patients to have to wait a large amount of time in our wait rooms because they can be very crowded. And crowding, of course, as we know from the pandemic, can lead to a greater risk for infection and also decreases patient satisfaction and reduces our overall efficiency.
The virtual home waiting room is for patients who have at least one of these 9 symptoms, including earaches and minor cuts or scrapes. The hospital's website has the full details, and it's also where patients with less emergent needs can join the virtual queue. After inputting their information, they will receive texts on the hour of their spot on the list.
It is essentially lets them know that when they're told to come to the emergency room, that is the most opportune time to minimize their wait in the emergency room. But it's not an opportunity to skip the existing queue.
Even though the home waiting room is new, officials are satisfied with the early results.
We're only 1 day into this project, and the patients who did use it waited an average of an hour at home. And then when they joined to be seen in the emergency room, they joined our usual queue, and our average wait times have been around 3 hours.
Hospital officials hope to eventually expand the virtual home waiting room to include more than 10 patients. They add that feedback is critical to improving the pilot project and invite all patients who use the queue to review it. Parry Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Things continue to progress in the redevelopment of Golden Manor. The city of Timmins releasing this sneak peek overhead look earlier today. According to its social media feed, curtain walls are going up, brick work is ongoing, along with mechanical, electrical, and drywall. Officials have also been busy buying tubs, bath chairs, resident lifts, beds, and mattresses. The new 192-bed home at the corner of Jubilee Ave and Terrio Boulevard will replace the current facility once finished. North Bay is postponing its upcoming drone show. The show was supposed to be this Friday, but has been postponed due to safety concerns. This is the second show to be canceled or postponed this summer after high winds knocked several drones out of the air at an event in July. The city is looking at other venues to host drone shows where wind speeds are generally lower. Meanwhile, the weather was perfect as Canadian Forces Snowbirds dazzled hundreds of spectators at the North Bay waterfront this evening. There were cheers and claps for the pilots as the planes looped around the waterfront. The Snowbirds participated in a half-hour fly over Lake Nipissing at 6 p.m. this evening. The aerial team was originally scheduled to perform in North Bay earlier this year for Armed Forces Day, but had to reschedule due to unexpected training delays during the off-season, which forced the team to hold up the start of the 2025 show season. Looks fun. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick, we'll have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions. And it is a wet one out there. We've got drizzle showing up in Kapuskasing and Timmins. Rain in other parts of our broadcast region. I know I was out for the dinner break. It shows clear in Sudbury right now, but it wasn't that way just an hour or so ago. We've got showers in North Bay, 17 in Parry Sound, 9 in Kapuskasing, and just about everywhere in between. We'll have details coming up in a moment.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
2 more days to go before the weekend kicks in, but we've got a day of rain for you. Check out Forecast Radar. This is what it looks like this hour as we continue some heavy rain in Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, and in North Bay. Tomorrow it's going to be Parry Sound, 30 to 40 millimeters of rain in the forecast. So again, once we get through tomorrow, we've got some sunshine Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. Let's take a look at some of those numbers now. Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of showers for tomorrow after 10 to 15 millimeters of rain this evening. Showers end tomorrow morning, then, well, the chance of showers at 30%. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nice temperatures, sunshine. Monday, Tuesday, of course, 23, 24 as it gets warmer with the sun and cloud. How about Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma? Chance of showers? Again, after 10 to 15 millimeters of rain this evening. Friday, Saturday, sunshine. Sunday, Monday, sun and cloud. More of the same on Tuesday. Check out the temperatures at 23 and 25. Meanwhile, in Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers at 40%. So that's a pretty good bet right now, but it may not rain. Friday, sunny skies. Saturday, sunshine. Sunday, sunshine. Monday, Tuesday, here we go, sun and cloud, 25 and 23, exceeding your normals for this time of the year. And a look now at Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, chance of showers at 40% for tomorrow. Friday, sun and cloud. How about Saturday and Sunday? Sunshine both days at 22, 24. Monday, Tuesday, again, 24, 25, beginning to perk up like it should for the month of September. So here we go, above normal temperatures and nicer weather beginning on Friday across the Northeast. And to look at North Bay now, we've got the chance of showers. So again, 5 to 10 millimeters of rain in the forecast for tomorrow in North Bay and West Nipissing. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 17, 20, and 23 your daytime highs. How about Monday, Tuesday, 22 and 23, 24 Wednesday. So again, your normals for this time of the year, around 20, 21. You're exceeding that, but you'll have to wait just a couple of days. So Ian Campbell, let's get through the rain for this evening and early tomorrow, and in some sections, well, chance of rain for tomorrow. Then it's clear sailing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Back to you.
I'll take that for a little Labor Day fun. Thanks so much, Rick. Well, the fire danger rating across Muskoka has been lowered to moderate. The change was issued by the Muskoka Association of Fire Chiefs earlier today, which means that small recreational open-air fires are permitted between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. Daytime burning, however, remains prohibited. Residents are reminded to practice important safety measures when having an open-air fire, such as keeping it away from adjacent properties, never leaving it unattended, and only using dry wood. A Timmins physician is retiring today after 31 years of working in the Timmins and District Hospital emergency room. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more.
Thanks, guys. This is Dr. Chris Loretto's last day working as chief of the Timmins and District Hospital Emergency Department. He says it's time to retire.
As my wife said to me, did you even have an exit strategy? And the answer was no. So this is my exit strategy, and sometimes the ones forced upon you are the best ones, because otherwise you don't realize, and then you find out you're the last person at the party and all the music has stopped and everybody's gone home and you're still there. So it is for the best.
Loretto says this is where he's wanted to be, working in his hometown emergency department for the last 3 decades.
It's a great profession. I love it. It was my career. I chose that career. And if I were healthier, I would still be doing it without a doubt. So yeah, a bit bittersweet, but everything's got a shelf life.
Dr. Loretto is a heart attack survivor, and despite loving his job, he says working in the ER is more stressful than ever.
With the lack of family docs, with the social ills that are out there today, the visit volume, the complexity of the cases are rising. And so the pressures on the emerge are even more so, which, makes it a career that is very short-lived with respect to the people, both nurses and physicians, in the time that they spend in it.
Loretto says he'll assist with trauma calls, continue teaching students, and he'll also work with Air Ambulance in the community paramedicine program. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
The province is expanding access to publicly funded RSV immunization, covering more seniors as another respiratory virus season approaches. Everyone 75 and older will be able to get the RSV shot for free. Vaccines will also be offered to other high-risk adults between 60 and 74 years old, as well as expecting mothers. Some infants and high-risk children will also be able to get the shot. More details can be found on the province's website. Meanwhile, Toronto Public Health, one of many health units, issuing a reminder to parents and guardians to make sure students are up to date on their required vaccines as they head back to school. They are urging people to check vaccination records, get any outstanding shots, and then report them to public health. Students without the necessary records or a valid exemption could be suspended for up to 20 school days. The province has awarded the first construction contracts for Highway 413. The Premier says the new east-west route will help address gridlock.
It will shorten travel times by up to 30 minutes per trip, helping people and goods get where they need to go faster. Highway 413 will protect our workers and will help us stand up to President Trump.
Highway 413 will run between York, Peel, and Halton regions. Construction will begin with prep work at intersecting routes, Highway 10 and the 401-407 interchange.
This is the first start of our early works, and we have every intention of using every resource possible to get it done as quickly as possible, as fast as possible, and get as many shovels in the ground as we can across the entire 52-kilometer stretch of this highway.
Opposition leaders say the project does not have a clear timeline or budget and will not offer relief for drivers. Environmental advocates say Highway 413 will carve through prime farmland and put several endangered species at risk. Well, it's Wednesday, and every Wednesday we take a little time out to chat with mayors from our region. Earlier tonight I caught up with Mayor Tara Anderson-Hart from White River. One of their biggest concerns right now, forestry.
Everybody is still working. That is the goal. And they're maintaining and keeping our heads above water on that front. As you know, the forestry sector is so vital to our community. It is one of our very foundations and main employers in our community. Approximately half the community works there, between the logging industry, the actual production, and the shipping of the finished product that they do make here. So everybody from loggers to truck drivers and everybody in between are relying on this mill for their livelihood.
Well, tourism also a very important sector for White River. Are you still seeing the American travelers heading your way, or is it predominantly Canadians?
No, we are seeing a lot of our American friends still, especially the ones that come year after year. We have a fly-in outfitter based out of White River that has been, having their normal booming season, which is wonderful to see. We're seeing a lot of visitors in town at our information center, exploring like our new hiking trail in town that we have, and that kind of thing. So people are coming. Definitely more Canadian tourists this year than Americans, but we're still seeing our American friends.
Our thanks to Mayor Anderson Hart. That full discussion is up on our website at CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. Next week, we'll chat with Horn-Payne's Mayor Cheryl Fort. Still ahead on CTV News. A local hockey team is turning to its community for help ahead of the hockey season. It was a celebratory atmosphere in Sudbury today, which now has some new fancy courts. This was the scene earlier today as officials cut the ribbon on the community's newly built tennis and pickleball courts. The new Liskeard Lions were also on hand to provide hot dogs free of charge. Mayor Mark Wilson was on hand to do the honors today. Looks like a great new space for those in Timiskaming Shores. Hockey season is about to start, and one Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League team is reaching out to the community for help. CTV's Angela Campbell has details.
Preparations are underway to get this dressing room ready, not just for the players' arrival next week, but for an important meeting with the community.
This is a community thing. Everybody's got to jump on board and essentially do our best this year to have the Rapids sustain their existence.
There are challenges, and the French River Rapids team needs help. Players arrive next week, but the team doesn't have enough billet families. And then there's the finances. The Rapids are in one of the smaller communities with an NOJHL franchise. According to the team's president and head coach, some games last season only saw 100 fans.
Without billeting, you have no hockey team. Without ticket sales, you have no hockey team. Without corporate sponsorship, you have no hockey team. These are three important facets of running a junior hockey team, and we're just looking for help.
Frastaglio wants to hear from the community. He's hoping an open house will provide input on how the team can thrive heading into the new season.
People don't know. So when they do know, we're hoping that they'll embrace the team a little bit more, and we don't need a lot more, just a little bit more. So we can have our existence here forever and ever.
What I'd like to see is, more support from the community. The players feel it on the ice. The fans love it. It's so much energy and so much positivity. I keep saying positivity, but that's truly what it brings.
Players begin arriving next Wednesday for training camp and exhibition games. The team plays in Blind River for its first game of the season, and their home opener is September 20th here against the Sudbury Cubs. Angela Campbell, CTV News, Noelville.
Sweating, straining, and pulling, all in the name of charity. Finally tonight, teams came together at North Bay's Jack Garland Airport this morning for the annual United Way of Northeastern Ontario plane pull. And CTV's Eric Tashner had a front row seat.
Putting their muscles to the test, Team Enbridge didn't need to strain to move this 30,000-pound jet aircraft.
It's all about pulling together as a team.
Enbridge is also donating $5,000 to the plane pull.
Giving back to where we live, work, and play, that's what it's all about.
With all their might, 32 teams had their chance to pull the plane 100 feet across the finish line to see who bags the best time and bragging rights.
We have 9 teams this year. It's the most teams we've ever submitted.
I tell everybody to put it out to the universe that we're going to rock it.
At the start of the poll, United Way collected more than $15,000 in donations. Over the last 8 years, the poll has raised over $50,000 for the nonprofit's community fund.
We address gaps, but we also support programs that make huge impact.
All the money raised funds several vital programs in the community and member agencies within the United Way, like the Keeping Seniors Warm and Ready for School programs.
We also have funded partners. So we fund the Elmwood Hub, we found United for Literacy, we fund the Paddle program, and there's a ton of other programs that we fund right now. 11 to be exact.
The plane pull started in 2017, with companies showing off their strength to raise money and give back to their community.
There's nothing like this around, so I think we're setting precedent. So happy to support year after year.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Looks like a lot of fun, and what a great cause. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Wednesday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. We leave you tonight with more sights and sounds from the North Bay waterfront and the Canadian Snowbirds. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.